Hello, everybody. It is Friday Night Phoenix here on this August. Last Wednesday, which was 2 days ago, we were here discussing the, what's going to happen to the French chef. Because he's definitely going to jail. It's just a matter of what he's going to go to jail for. Murder, lying, or something else. Or maybe a combination of all three. But we're about to find out. So, let's get going.
Damn, young man! Couldn't wait for me to get up!
I thought you weren't going to do the voice anymore, Circus.
I'm the circus!
Okay, time to put her back in the kitchen. We got to give her some more of that aromatherapy bottles.
Shut up, man!
So we were in the middle of doing the French chef. Not in that way, not in that way. Oh la la, streamer, I had no idea you were into that.
Be a guest.
Put your service to the test. Oh no, what have we started?
Me? You started it, sir.
So your only customers were Mr. Kudo and the victim? How many times do you need to ask the same thing, Trite? You'd never catch me drinking the same blend twice. Huh?
Oh.
You're trying to establish the presence of a phony victim in the restaurant, but you're wasting your time. You can't grind birdseed to make coffee, if you catch my drift. But there's a hole in this testimony somewhere, I'm sure of it. Did you see him? No, I was in the kitchen, but I heard him. I remember him shouting, "Yes, $500,000!" Presumably, the defendant heard that too, then, correct? Maggie? She looked like a poor little frightened dove. And what about Mr. Kudo? The old man choked on some bird seeds that got stuck in his throat.
It seems we now have yet another incident on our hands.
And what were you doing at that point? Without any customers, you must have had time to kill. I am a multi-talented woman, monsieur. Sorry, what do you mean? There is a renowned chef Jean Armstrong and la tragic poet Clarice Armstrong.
Clarice?
Hello, Clarice. Anyone seen Silence of the Lambs? If not, you would get the reference. Oh, it loves the lotion on its skin. Now it places the lotion in the basket.
Mr. Armstrong, you're making me super uncomfortable.
Oui, I was writing a poem. An angry tale of a chef and $500,000 of debt. Cooking for a man who won $500,000 on la lotterie. It is called Pourquoi? It means why. Perhaps I could recite it for la court. Please don't.
Don't.
SpongeBob shot that and watched an episode.
Oh, Self, I can barely hear you.
SpongeBob.
Didn't SpongeBob shout that in an episode once?
About what? The poem?
Hi, buddy.
Is my stuff on?
Yeah, I hear you.
I can hear you.
Right. So you heard the question, didn't SpongeBob
Yeah.
shout that in an episode?
I don't remember. You mean you contacted the police as soon as the incident occurred? I asked the old man to call from the payphone. By your own argument, Trite. The purpose of this phony victim's performance was so the old man would see it. In other words, once the incident occurred, this opportunity would completely disappear.
Yep, he did in the episode Missing Identity.
Indeed.
Bien, it seems la shadow of doubt has been lifted, n'est-ce pas?
I guess Mr. Armstrong,
I
dim lag, is connected to the
I know,
thing,
it's
huh?
fucking glitchy on fucking Discord tonight.
Absolutely. Someone was impersonating Mr. Elg, and I refuse to believe he was oblivious. He was there the whole time, after all.
But if you're right, wouldn't Maggie have noticed too?
She fell unconscious when the incident occurred, remember?
Ah, you mean that's when the phony staged his act?
We'll know for sure once I find a hole in his testimony.
I wouldn't find any hole on this man, thank you very much. Might cause some trouble. Hey, everyone's freaked out on this dude.
I'm afraid I finally got you, Mr. Armstrong. Quoi? What do you mean? At the time in question, the victim was listening to the radio with his earpiece. The show he was listening to was Millionaire Radio. Each week, they announced the winning numbers of the $500,000 lottery ticket. Whiz, that must be la show Mont Elg was listening to.
I can't see any problem with this testimony, Mr. Wright.
I wonder. You say the victim arrived at your restaurant after 2 p.m., correct? Oui, I am sure of it. I remember it perfectly now. I know it was that time because I had just finished serving la lunch menu. Get to the point, Wright, if you have one. That show is broadcast live at 1:30 p.m., and it claims to be the most thrilling 10 minutes of your life.
It's on air at 1:30.
Now, supposedly, the victim made some noise when it was announced that he had won. And yet, I don't believe his cry of joy could have occurred after 2 p.m. Because the show had already finished more than 30 minutes earlier by that point in time. No! This victim we've been told about has done nothing but the impossible. Listening to the radio with a ruptured eardrum, catching a show that was already over, there's only one conclusion you can draw from these facts. This victim was an imposter, acting out the poisoning 30 minutes after the real murder.
You're a phony! A big fat phony!
Yes, there were 2 Glenn Elgs in Tribulations that day. The real Glenn Elg, now dead, having been poisoned by the real killer, and the phony Glenn Elg acting out the events for Mr. Kudo to witness.
It certainly seems that way. I mean, if it wasn't the case, how could you explain the time of discrepancy? Discrepancy.
Quite a performance, Trite. You were almost on a roll. But sadly, you lack the rock-hard foundation of rhythm to build your song. What is this, Music Theory 101? Let's recap.
Yes.
According to your imaginative theory, it's now just after 2 p.m. The phony Elg is performing a play for the benefit of Mr. Kudo. How do you explain, then, where the real Glenn Elg is? I don't believe I have to spell this out for the court. However, at that time, the real Glenn Elg was already dead.
That's certainly the obvious conclusion.
Thank you, Trite. That's exactly what I was hoping you would say. What? Now, I presume you can prove this theory of yours? Can you explain where the missing corpse went to? The missing corpse? According to the old man's testimony, there was only one other customer there. If that customer was the phony Glenn Elg, then where did the killer hide the body of the real victim? No!
The meat locker. The prosecution has a valid point, Mr. Wright. If your theory is to stand up to the examination by the court, you must provide us with proof by the prosecution's question. Whether did the killer hide the body?
Yes, Your Honor. No conjecture, Trite. Let's hear some facts for once. Show the court a piece of evidence that proves where the body was hidden. Evidence?
There's waiting on my. It's lagging on my end.
Same here.
Oh, I hear on my end too.
Blame Discord.
Okay. I'm waiting on it. I'm waiting on it. I'm waiting for it to hit my. Okay. What's with the intense pressure in here all of a sudden?
I thought I had him with that contradiction. But he's turned it all around and backed me into a corner instead.
Well, Mr. Wright, the court will no longer hear the defense theory and evidence.
Oh, that's bullshit, Your Honor. That's bullshit.
Blame fucking Discord. It's being laggy.
Yep.
Well, now.
I always thought we should never do courtrooms and live streams. I always thought that was a terrible idea. Fuck you, COVID.
First, first was the body of the real Mr. L. Casil.
It would have had to have been too dangerous to take the body outside. Obviously, the body must have been hidden somewhere inside Tribulations.
Interesting. But where could a body have been hidden inside the restaurant? Perhaps would you care to show the court on these plans, Mr. Wright?
Yes, Your Honor. The exact location where the body was concealed inside Tribulations is... Oh my god, there's really one other place where it could have been, in a restaurant. The body was hidden here.
I see.
Nice supposition. But the real question is, can you back it up? Where's the evidence that proves the body was hidden in that location?
Go through a billion evidence.
3 pages of it. Mr. Armstrong, do you recognize this bottle? No! I never seen that early bottle before in my life. I only use our very best bottles, monsieur. The highest quality only for me.
Where was that bottle found, Mr. Wright?
Interesting enough, Your Honor. It was found in the kitchen of Tribulations. Quoi? But I only ever use these bottles for my aromatherapy oils. But this bottle doesn't contain aromatherapy oil, Mr. Armstrong. No, it contains a medication.
What kind of medication?
I'm sure everyone remembers, don't they? That Mr. Elk visited an otolaryngological clinic and was given medication that day. You can't be serious. The defense had the contents of the bottle analyzed, and I have the lab results here. The contents of the bottle match the prescription that was given to Mr. Elg. Glenn Elg's murderer hid the body in the restaurant kitchen, at which time this bottle fell out of the victim's pocket. Mr. Armstrong, when the incident occurred, didn't you say you were in the kitchen? Mon Dieu! Yes, you know what I'm about to say. It was you who hid the victim's body. You did a fine job pretending to defend my client, Maggie Bird. However, you were setting her up to take the fall behind the poor girl's back. No!
This is an extraordinary development. Witness, did you murder Mr. Glenn Elg?
Never! I can never do such a horrible thing. No!
Oh, Mr. Goldut.
The bitterness. Every time I get lied to,
Oh.
I always dug a mug of coffee.
Again.
That's one of my rules. Do you have the slightest idea how many cups you've had by now? Then I like to do the same to the person who lied to me. I like to take them down with my empty cup. Listen up, chef.
Oh shit.
How about a brand new flavor in your ear, my H-deficient friend? Je vous demande pardon! Please, you must hear me out. It is a trap. Listen to me. Por favor.
Does anybody know how much fucking caffeine it takes to kill you right now? I want to
7.
know.
Never.
Let me see.
This guy has coffee as blood.
Exactly.
Ew.
In a normal human being. Yo hablo español, Mr. Armstrong, and por favor in Spanish.
That was not bad for your first time doing Spanish. I'm only going to ask you once. Did you do it? No! No, no! Absolutely no! Let's hear it. You've got one shot. Right, Gramps?
Witness, the court will permit you the chance to make one final statement. Oi. If you lie under the oath again, Mr. Goldust's coffee mug awaits you. As does my gavel.
Oui. It is clear. What do they always say in the movies? I've got a bad feeling about this.
Feeling about this.
Very well, begin your final testimony, Mr. Armstrong.
Damn.
It is true. I ate the body in the kitchen. A man forced me to do it. I had no choice. I had to go along with him because there was a reason why I could not refuse. But I did not kill him. I swear it. You must believe me.
You were forced by who?
I cannot say, or I will be erased. Let's try a different question then. When Mr. Elg died, was he really the only person at his table? There was another man. I knew it.
Maggie was telling the truth.
Sorry, I was reading what Sylph was saying about 2 cups of coffee. You may cross-examination the witness now, Mr. Wright.
There's just one more thing I need to do. I gotta break this guy and get him to tell us the name of the real killer. Did you carry the body by yourself? Oui, I carried him, and I carried Maggie too. Maggie too? When she saw the victim collapse, she fainted. I could not leave her there.
But why did you hide the bodies?
What man? Who was he? No, I cannot say. I fear for my life. He's really scared.
You'll just have to put the words in his mouth, Nick.
Yeah, you're right. If he won't tell me, I'll tell him.
But why would you go along with this man?
And what reason would that be, Mr. Armstrong? You know, monsieur. Yes? Surely you cannot expect a young maiden to talk about such an embarrassment. A maiden? You're a bit old to get away with that.
What? Bro.
You're not even a woman.
And a bit too male.
I can't finish the cross-examination without establishing his reason. So I'll just have to prove it with evidence.
Well, he wasn't dead, so there you go.
So you are claiming that all you did was hide the bodies. Is that correct? Oui, that's right.
If we were to believe you, Mr. Armstrong, you must tell the court everything. You must make clear the identity of the man who ordered you to do this.
He's already confessed this much. He might as well stop dancing around the real issue.
Yeah, but he really doesn't want to tell us who the killer is.
Then, talk it to him, Nick.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Let's end this dance of Ring Around the Rosie, Mr. Armstrong. This is the man that you've been referring to. Ah!
Who is that? I feel like I've seen him somewhere before.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe a month ago in this very courtroom? That man is Furio Tigre. He's the manager of a loan office called Tender Lender. There's no point trying to hide the truth anymore, Mr. Armstrong. I know you couldn't go against Mr. Tigre, at least not while he had this on you. A $500,000 loan from a black market loan shark. And you had no way of paying it back, did you? That's why you were forced to do anything this man told you. Oui, it is as you say.
Mr. Armstrong.
La Tiger, he told me he was going to use my restaurant for a business rendezvous. On the day in question, he was meeting a victim to demand that he repay his loan. I don't know why it happened like that. I just did what he told me to do. I had no choice. I carried the body and the inconsistent Maggie out of the dining area and into the kitchen. After that, I just tried to forget what I had seen. I think we can now safely say that the man who forced your hand was Mr. Furio Tigre.
Guys, he's scaring me.
Creepy too.
I do have one further question for you, Mr. Armstrong. The poison and the lottery ticket that were found in the defendant's apron pocket. Was that your doing as well?
No, I knew nothing about that. Making it look like it was Maggie who had done it. I was not. It is despicable.
Mr. Godot. Will you summon the Furio Tigre as a witness? I doubt that can be arranged today, so we'll adjourn for now. Proceedings will continue tomorrow. Mr. Armstrong, please do not redecorate the courtroom.
30 minutes.
What?
The trial will go on. I'll see to it myself. I need half an hour to get that guy on the stand. Not a minute more. How the... Don't sit back and relax yet, Wright. No one knows if that chef is really telling the truth or not. This trial still can go either way.
Very well. Your request is granted, Mr. Godot. We will resume once Mr. Tigre is ready to take the stand. Until then, court is adjourned for 30 minutes. Recess.
Well, that was a short stream. It was only 25 minutes. No, I'm just kidding.
God damn it.
Joe, you know better than that.
I know. Hey, it's... What's worse, doing a 25-minute stream or a 3.5-hour stream?
Dude, I stayed up last night and watched a 4-hour stream.
Okay.
I could do this all night.
Yeah.
Hi, Trombed. Hi. Whatever the hell your name is.
Finally, they
Wow,
recognize
we're
us.
finally going to see the... So, we're finally going to see the tiger on the stand. We've almost got this case won now, Nick.
I wish I could agree.
Huh?
When I cross-examined Mr. Armstrong just now, he said he was just doing what the tiger told him to do. But Godo picked up on it, remember? He pointed out that without proof, we don't know if what he testified is the truth.
You mean, you think Mr. Armstrong was lying?
I don't know, but if that's the line the prosecution takes, we could be in trouble. I get the feeling that we don't have the case-making evidence we're going to need. Hey, pal. Detective Gumshoe.
Oh, God, him.
What are you so jumpy about, Detective? Your hair is standing on end.
Hey, that's the pot calling the kettle black, little Miss Topknot.
It's not a top knot. You take that back.
Never mind about the hair. Just calm down, alright? I'm surprised Maya didn't say, "What the fuck did you say about my hair?" And just went all Josuke on him.
You're tempting me to say... Oh, okay, you're gonna make me do that now. What the fuck did you just say about my hair, Detective?
Run away!
Well, Maya, how did you get him to float in the air, get punched all the way, and then have him hit a wall against the courtroom?
Oh, my
Anyway.
has to stand now.
Yeah. Alright, never mind about the hair. Just calm down, alright? I can't sit still when I don't have a job to do. I kind of got wound up. Ah! No kidding. You gotta have something you need me to do, pal. Anything. Well, hey, I'm gonna take a jog back down to the precinct. I could get some prints analyzed for you if you got an hour. An hour? The trial will have reconvened by then.
But, Nick, we still don't have a real decisive piece of evidence, right?
True. Without some kind of trump card to pull out of the bag, we're really stuck. You said you could get some fingerprint analysis done in an hour? You bet. In that case, would you mind checking the prints on this for me?
Oh, here we go again.
If you're going back to the station anyway, could you find out whose prints are on this? Oh, hey, that's the small bottle I gave back to you this morning, right? Yeah, I think it's time we solve the last mystery of who the prints on it belong to. Sure thing, pal. Actually, that's been gnawing at me too. Okay, I'll get this off to the lab right away. Just make sure you don't lose the case before I get back. This is pretty much the final showdown, I guess.
It's time to separate the phonies from the real guys.
A movie quote.
Well, maybe if you watched Heavyweights with Ben Stiller, it's like, this is the day that we separate the men from the boys.
Yeah, but his character was batshit crazy.
Yes, he was. 20-mile hike, I mean, come on.
Court will now... True. Court will now reconvene. Mr. Goda, did you find Rio Tiger?
I even tamed him for you. It was a 3-cup job. No problem. Tamed him? The guy's name may be Furio Tigre, but come on. He's pretty lively. Be careful, he still bites.
Very well, please show Mr. Tiger to the stand. My God, what happened to you? What?
Whoa.
And don't hide under the table, Maya, unless there is room for me down there too. What'd you just say to me?
No, nothing. I didn't say nothing honest. Is audio scrolling itself right now?
Yes. You try talking to him, he's just gonna roar like a tiger. Who would have guessed that fear would induce a bad Brooklyn accent in the judge? I got business to take care of, you hear me? So who the hell called me into this hole? Was it you, Spiky? No, of course not. It was the judge?
Oh,
Your Honor!
oh dear, it seems I have dropped my pen. Where on earth is it? Don't mind me, just carry on with the proceedings as normal.
That's it. We're doomed. Maybe you didn't hear me? I said, who the hell was it that called me in here?
Look at Coffee Boy.
There's no need to shout. We can all hear you. What'd you say? There's no point struggling. You're caught in a snare. The relentless snare of the law. And I'm the one that hauled you in. Too cool.
Don't let him get the better of you, Nick!
Let's start with the basics. You know about the incident in question, correct? Incident? I don't know nothing about no stinking incident, Mask Boy. You mean you didn't attend the previous trial of Maggie Bird? Maggie who? I got more important things to do than watch courtroom dramas.
Of course. Well, perhaps you could give us your testimony then. Please tell us about what you did on the day of the murder.
Phoenix Wright. You's the one who set this up, didn't you? You's gonna regret the day you ruffled the tiger's fur. You hear what I'm saying?
You're in contempt of the court, sir.
Maybe I should have brought a diaper with me today.
Get a grip, Nick!
Joey, you know you want a suit like that.
What, the one he's wearing right now?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, man. Foreshadowing, actually.
Oh,
no.
are you gonna get gold chains too?
Well, I already have the gold chains.
Guys,
I just can't get my hair to be this spiky, and I'm never gonna be that tan. I am not from New Jersey. And by the way, New Jerseyans are the most annoying people that I've ever met in my life.
dude, it's called a wig, and it's called a spray tan.
Again, I am not doing either of those two either, because I'm not fake. I'm not like somebody that, I'm not like...
For that cosplay idea.
Oh, remind me, I gotta tell you about this one wrestler who looks exactly like this guy, but he's like the fakest person in the world. Anyway, I'll probably explain off stream.
Yes, boss man.
I don't know nothing about no murder. I was tied up with business in December last year. Spent all of my time in my office. I got whales lined up to borrow cash from Tender Lender every single day. You just want to check my alibi? Just ask Violetta.
Ah, at last I found my pen. Very well then, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. No, what is it? Please, what is? If you could refrain from shouting like that.
I know the kind of games that guy in the blue plays. That lowlife ain't no lawyer. He just punches away at stupid details till he wins. Lowlife? Me? Listen up, smarty. Every time you ask me something that doesn't relate to this case, I'm gonna bill you $50,000 as you's gonna borrow the cash from me. Special Flake says, this villain kind of looks like a Guido from that TV show I used to watch, Jersey Shore. Yeah, that's exactly the joke that I made last time. He's a Jersey Shore wannabe. Oh, that's one loan contract I refuse to sign. And don't think it ain't gonna hurt when you tangle with the tiger. Huh. I love a good spectator sport.
Just a minute, that's really not...
This witness is... How can I put it? A hungry tiger roaming the urban jungle. Get on his bad side and he'll bite everyone's heads off. Yours too.
Very well, I have no choice but to impose a penalty system here.
You's better be listening. I said I got business to take care of. Big business. If I don't split now, I ain't gonna catch my bus.
The court will impose a penalty for any irrelevant pressing of the witness testimony. Keep in mind as you begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor.
You can do it, Nick.
Will you get up here?
Come out from under there already, would you, Maya? Yes. So I can't press every statement. If I do, I get penalized. So I can only press the ones that are relevant. This is final boss mode.
Damn.
Are you sure about that? We're talking about 1 month ago, you know. You see these teeth? That's how sharp my secretary is. Sharp? Is he talking about Viola Cadaverini? She writes everything in my scheduler. December, mainly in the office. That's what it says, so that's where I was.
That seems like a rather, sketchy schedule.
There he goes again. What the tiger did all December isn't the issue. What's important is what he was doing on the day of the murder, so now what? Mr. Tigre, what you want? If you wouldn't mind going into a bit more detail. This is a dead-end trite and you know it. Remember the rules. No, it's essential that we establish the witness's alibi accurately.
I agree.
The victim was killed on December 3rd. Were you in the office that day too? Maybe yous ain't listening. Of course I was. I never set foot outside. I had meetings all day with a bunch of cats wanting to do business with me. I ain't never seen that young kid before. Yeah, that's right. I go to the cat cafe. I discuss business with all the locals.
You believe the witness last statement was important? Please don't hurt me.
What the fuck happened to you?
I'm so scared. Mr. Golda, if you could please.
Mr. Tigre, the court asks you to add that last statement to your testimony. Don't let an animal beat you. Be a man, Your Honor, and ask him yourself. The day you was talking about, I was in the office too. I never saw that kid before.
Oh jeez, Judge so scared, went back into this stage before puberty.
Oh no,
With teen.
he's got the Alessi stand.
No!
Turn into Mickey Mouse, huh?
That's creepy! Don't bring up Alessi, no!
Mr. Tigre, you claim you didn't know Mr. Glenn Elg, but it appears that Mr. Elg knew you. What? Mr. Elg left this little note on his calendar. Meet with the tiger. And the date? December 3rd.
December 3rd? That's the day of the murder.
So, Mr. Tigre, I submit that you did indeed know one Mr. Glenn Elg, because on the very day of the incident, you met with him. Not bad. You's actually not bad. Sorry? I was just messing with yous to see how good you were.
Did you hear that, Nick? He said you're not bad.
That's one compliment I could do without. Plus, he's lying through his teeth.
Witness, please remember that your unearthed lies will be not tolerated.
You's calling me a liar? Is that what you doing? Ruh-roh. So you're saying that your claim to have never seen that kid before is the truth? I said I'm dead serious. You's better believe that's the truth. Ha. Then I'd say that gives me time to enjoy another cup of pure black magic. That is, while you testify
Oh,
for the
Lord.
court again, Mr. Tigre.
Oh, yes! Would you mind indulging the court witness?
He never actually met the victim? That's gotta be a lie right there. It's time I nailed this guy. Phrasing, Phoenix. I don't think a phoenix and a tiger should be doing it. I ain't no
Maybe that's how
liar.
they get a griffin.
I never met Glen Elk. There was some lame guy with that name, though. Wanted to borrow cash from me. I set up a meeting with the guy. At my office, 10 to Lenda. I waited around for him, but he ain't never showed. I ain't never even been to that Tribulations joint. You see it?
I see. That all seems perfectly logical. You had to arrange to meet with the victim, but he didn't show up.
I've heard it's pretty hard to keep appointments when you're dead.
Very well, you may begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor. Didn't I tell you I got a big deal going down today? I ain't gonna make my bus now. I'm gonna have to take the express train. That bill's going straight to you, right? Ugh. I don't know what sound phoenixes make when they get mad, but...
I bet it's more like a don't.
Mr. Tigre, is there something you'd like to tell the court about these matches? Matches? What you's talking about? We found them in your office at Tender Lender. They're from that restaurant. If you've really never been to Tribulations before, what was a book of the restaurant's matches doing on your desk? You've been snooping around in my stuff now too, wise guy? What are you, my ball and chain? Ain't no broad controlling me.
Oh, fucking rude.
Order, well, witness.
I was one of those guys.
Damn.
I think it's time you started telling the truth, don't you?
Well, you trying to do that voice just cracked your mic.
Oh, shit.
I ain't no pussycat. I don't go back on what I said. But okay, I was at the joint that day. What? But listen good, alright? I might have been there, but I still never met that kid. Well, well.
Oh no, here we go.
Looks like an order just came in for another testimony. I'm this close to proving it was him. He did meet Glen Elk that day, and he did put poison in his coffee. He must have. I was supposed to meet with the kid at the restaurant that afternoon. When I opened the door to the joint, I saw one ugly scene. The guy was laid out over the table, stiff as concrete. I figured if the place wasn't hot already, it was gonna be, so I split. I heard the cops' sirens on my way out, and I went straight back to my office.
I see. You didn't actually meet with them in the end, then. Well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please.
Yes, Your Honor. Hold it. If I wait around here any longer, I ain't even gonna make the normal express. No more stupid questions. Huh. No problem. Anytime Trite presses you on something irrelevant, I'll see he pays a penalty.
Mr. Goldot, that's my job.
Your job is to slam that little hammer of yours and call a guilty verdict. So do it.
Yes, sir.
The Special Express ain't cheap, right? Just so you know, since you's paying. Oh man, doesn't the rule of law mean anything around here? Yeah, so I can't press any statement. I have to present evidence. You're something of a loan-collecting pro, aren't you, Mr. Tigre? No one escapes the Taiga's clutches. Well, I'm something of a lie-detecting pro. And no one escapes the Phoenix's clutches. I think it's time we got something straight. What's this, Trite? A new line of irrelevant questioning? These are the floor plans of the crime scene. You say you were standing at the entrance, Mr. Tigre. From there, your field of vision would have covered an area something like this.
Indeed, the witness would have had a clear view of the victim's seat.
Isn't that what I just said? I saw the back of the kid's head. Unfortunately for you, that is not possible. If the court would think back, you'll remember that between each of the tables is a tall partition.
Why, that's true.
Now look at the plans again. The truth is painfully obvious. From the entrance, the field of vision of any customer walking in ends here. So, from the entrance of Tribulations, you couldn't have seen the victim's seat. But you did see the victim that day because you met with him. Wrong. Have you forgotten the old man's testimony yesterday? The victim was alone at his table. But the defense just proved that point to be moot. The victim witnessed by Mr. Kudo was not Glenn Elg, but a fake. What? In order to have Mr. Kudo falsely testify, the real killer posed as the victim he had just killed and acted out a charade.
That will do. This trial has gone on enough without the obvious questions being answered. Who exactly was the real killer who impersonated the victim? You say the killer murdered Glenn Elg, and then impersonated his victim in the performance for Victor Kudo. In that case, Mr. Wright revealed the identity of the criminal to the court.
Obviously, the killer is Furio Tigre. No one else could have done it.
What? Well, witness?
Now that's cute. Yous think you could pin this on the tiger? Maybe yous don't understand. The tiger is king of the jungle. So I dares you to say it again. Come on, you got the guts?
You can't be threatening me, Mr. Tigre. It's the defense. Go ahead and tell the witness, Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright!
Sounds to me like it must be you, old man. You's got guts, I'll give you that.
Mr. Wright, you do not leave me to handle this alone.
Ha. Perhaps I can end this embarrassment?
Mr. Godot.
Let's just go back over Mr. Kudo's testimony one more time. The old man didn't see just the victim. Oh, no, no, no.
The servant girl brought him a javocado, but she put something in it. There's no question about it. She was very conspicuously put some white powder in there.
Was the victim he saw the real victim or not? That doesn't matter. The fact remains he saw the accused put the poison into the coffee.
Yes, it was the waitress who...
Very impressive, Mr. Godo. waiting for my absence to launch your attack. Huh. Found your pen at last, right? Yeah, it was in my pocket. But anyway, Mr. Kudo witnessed 2 people that day. He saw the victim, the supposed Mr. Glenn Elg, and the waitress from behind.
Yes, your point, Mr. Wright.
I think the conclusion is obvious. If this Glenn Elg was really the killer in disguise, then surely it's possible the waitress was also part of the show.
What? You mean the waitress was an imposter as well?
The defendant, Miss Bird, fell unconscious immediately after the incident. And someone used her fainting to hatch an elaborate plan to pin the murder on her.
Who on earth was it? Who was the waitress that Mr. Kudo witnessed? Who's this woman?
Her name is Viola Cadavarini. She's an employee of Tender Lender. You's making a big mistake. Do you know who Violetta's grandfather is? You'd better be going home in an armored truck tonight, if you know what I mean.
Stop shaking, Nick!
Where was I? Yes, the defendant, Miss Bird, had stated the following.
Still,
Sorry. Well, when I took the coffee over to the victim's table, it's sure there was another customer in the restaurant. She was sort of creepy. And she had kind of a cackling laugh.
There are just too many contradictions in this case. The second man at the victim's table, who nobody but Miss Bird seems to have seen. The earpiece worn by the victim in his left ear when that eardrum was ruptured. And the radio show he was supposedly listening to half an hour after it was over. There is only one logical explanation that clears up all of these contradictions. The whole incident took place twice, once for real and once for show. And Mr. Furio Tigre, the only person who could have committed the crime, is you.
witness, what have you got to say?
That's cute.
Sorry.
He was alright. I could do with a guy like you around. What do you mean? Okay, I'm in on this game. I'm gonna have to charter a jet to get me to my meeting now, but I'm gonna give yous one more thing to think about before I go. Something to think about? Yous got it all wrapped up nice, huh, Wright? But yous missed out one real important thing. But that can't be. I was in the joint that day, and I met that kid, too. But I couldn't have poisoned him, yous hear?
What? Do you really expect us to believe you now, Mr. Tage?
Huh. What a troublemaker. Troublemaker? Looks like we're going to need another one for the road. One more steaming cup of hot testimony.
Indeed. Witness, you will explain yourself to the court. I will give you one more chance to testify. What happened that day at Tribulations between yourself and the victim? That tongue is starting to get on my nerves.
Same.
Yeah, I loaned El Cash about $100,000. That day, he was due to have a little chat. The kid had hit his payback date, see? So anyway, he tells me he's got no way to pay up. I'm about to flatten the guy when he starts screaming, "Yes, I won! $500,000 bucks!" He got lucky, you know. Real lucky. If that waitress hadn't done what she had done, everything would have been over.
No, I see that the principal amount you loaned Mr. L was $50,000.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he's got the VIG to take into account. Interest builds up fast, you know. That's faster than fast. $100,000 is twice his principal.
And the repayment deadline was December 3rd, the day of the incident in question.
Yeah, he was one lucky kid. He got that $500,000 just in time. So I ain't have no reason to kill the kid. And if I ain't got no motive, you ain't got no case. His motive? He has to have one, but what is it? The waitress. You mean the girl with the glasses in the defendant's chair. Who else could I mean? If she hadn't gotten in the way, things would have been bada bing, bada boom, over and done with. Maybe I should push a little on this? What do you mean things would have been over and done with? Are yous all there or what? I'm talking about the cash. I was there to get my 100,000 bucks back, that's all. I'm a businessman. It was all coming together before that waitress got in the way.
As far as I could tell from the witness testimony, other than the recuperating his loan, Mr. Tigray has no motive for killing the victim. Witness, you will amend your testimony to reflect what you just said.
The tiger's motive, huh? I was after the $100,000. I didn't have no other reason to kill the guy.
Wait, I thought you said 50,000.
Well, no, then there's the interest on top of it, which was twice the amount, so 50 times 52.
Oh, I thought... I must be getting tired if I'm not paying for details.
So you just intended to get back the $100,000 Mr. L owed you, correct? I loaned the guy the cash, so that's my right. Unfortunately for Mr. Elg, I don't believe the $100,000 is what you were really after. What are you getting at, Wright? What else would a moneylender be after other than money? Oh, the moneylender was after money, but money in a totally different league. The kind of money that a single disc like this would fetch.
What is that?
A computer virus, Your Honor. A virus called MC Bomber.
The computer virus? What does one of those do?
A computer virus is a program that wreaks havoc on the insides of a computer.
A computer? What does one of
Oh
those
my
do?
god!
I guess
I
the
am
beard.
that old.
I guess the beard isn't the only part of his honor that is from the Stone Age. I'll explain it to you later, Your Honor. Right now, this is the important point. A virus like MC Bomber would be worth $7 million on the black market.
$7 million!
Lending money with no hope of ever seeing repayment would normally be bad for business. But in this case, the very fact that Glenn Elg had no way to repay the money is crucial.
What?
Glenn Elg was a programmer, a highly skilled programmer. That skill was the collateral Mr. Elg put up in order to borrow the money. Objection! You're trying to suggest the witness's motive was to get hold of that program? Exactly. The witness may have poor fashion sense, but he is by no means an idiot, Trite. A man like him could get his hands on $1 million without resorting to murder. Of course he could, provided that he had time. But what if he had needed the money right then? When the pressure's on, the luxury of choice tends to disappear.
It seems you have a logical conclusion for this theory, Mr. Wright. Would you care to share it with us? Why did Mr. Target needed the money to tune of $1 million? Later.
In December of last year, you found yourself in need of a huge amount of money. About 6 months ago, you were involved in a traffic accident, weren't you? An accident involving a car and a scooter in which a young woman was injured. She was taken to the hospital where she underwent surgery. How much of this do you know? These medical papers document the treatment of the young woman in question. According to these, her operation cost $1 million. And yet, when the payment was due last month, you somehow managed to pay it in full.
$1 million? A preposterous sum. Someone should be sued those HMOs.
Huh. No one would pay a bill like that. If the medical association got wind of it, the hospital would end up dead as a morgue. But Mr. Tigre had no choice but to pay, because his very life depended on it.
Order, order, order! You say his life depended on it, Mr. Wright.
Indeed it did, simply because the injured woman was none other than Viola Cadaverini. Did you say Cadaverini? Bruto Cadaverini, mob boss in charge of all underworld activities in the city, and doting grandfather to his precious Violetta, also known as Viola Cadaverini. Your life was in danger unless you paid compensation to the boss, correct? It makes sense. You were desperate to acquire the $1 million Bruto Cadaverini demanded of you. So desperate, in fact, that you decided to sacrifice Glenn Elg's life to pay your debt. On the day of the murder, Mr. Tigre's sole intention was to get his hands on this CD. Glenn Elg had no way of paying back the $100,000, and Mr. Tigre knew it. But then a miracle happened. The kind that Mr. Tigre would prefer to say never happened, but he can't, and neither can I. The lottery win? Exactly. At the 11th hour, Mr. Elg won $500,000 on the lottery, which left Mr. Tigre with no way of getting his hands on the all-important CD. At least, no legitimate way. So he resorted to illegitimate means. That's crazy. He murdered Glenn Elg and then made his next move, to frame Maggie Bird for the crime. Mr. Tigre posed as Glenn Elg, while Viola Cadaverini played the role of Miss Bird. And then they reenacted the whole thing in order to establish a witness. The witness being the one we all heard testify yesterday, Mr. Victor Kudo. Like I said, Trite, that's crazy. No one could pull off a stunt like that. For starters, there's no way the chef could have been kept in the dark about it. But Mr. Armstrong was in on it from the very beginning. Have you forgotten already, Mr. Godo? Mr. Armstrong owed the witness money too. $500,000, in fact. He had no choice but to go along with Mr. Tigre's plan.
Oh, man.
Order! Silence, or I will...
Yous put on a good show, Spiky. If yous want to stay alive in the loan shark business, you gotta be careful. You saying I dressed up like that kid, created a witness, and framed someone? If I did something crazy like that, I'd leave a trail as bright as my shirt. I ain't dumb enough to do something sloppy like that. I agree. You do? Despite your appearance, you are very careful. That's why you took one more precaution. One more trick to make sure Miss Bird had no way out.
What? Another one, Mr. Wright!
Interesting. Why don't you fill us all in, Trite? What was this trick you say Mr. Tigre performed to frame the accused?
What on earth is that? What an insult to think anyone could have fooled by such a childish imitation.
Consider yourself insulted, Your Honor. Mr. Tigre, you didn't just pose as the victim on the day in question. A month ago in this very court, you posed as me.
What? That's...
The truth.
But... The witness looks nothing like you, Mr. Wright. Although...
Oh, God.
Now that I think about it, it was you, wasn't it? No doubt it was you standing in here, this very court, a mere month ago. The Phoenix Wright who put up the most despicable, shabby defense I have ever seen.
Can you prove that, Gramps? Prove the attorney who represented the accused here a month ago was this man? Are you prepared to take the stand and testify that it was him? Ooh.
No.
Hey.
Forget about it, yeah?
What the fuck?
I wouldn't do something like that, not me. You made a mistake, right? It was someone else, huh?
What the fuck was this?
Have you no pride, sir? This isn't a matter of pride. In case you didn't know, Trite, here in court, we deal with people's lives. Ugh.
Mr. Golda is right.
Your Honor.
Speaking for myself, I am absolutely convinced. The attorney in question was the witness standing here before me now. However, I presided over this court as the judge with the vast power to hand down a verdict. Somehow, in my position, cannot be swayed by a memory without evidence to support it.
No!
If the defense has no further evidence, the court will now excuse the witness. The circumstances surrounding Mr. Tigres are a bias for sure, but not a conclusive.
But we've come so far.
You say he impersonated Glenn Elk. You say he impersonated you. But none of that adds up to a murder charge. You don't have a shred of evidence that the witness poisoned the victim's coffee.
Nah!
Where the fuck is that detective?
Huh.
Come here, Elliot.
Elliot.
Sucks to be you, right? Don't mess with the tiger or you're gonna get mauled. You's got that? All we managed to do here was chase him around a bit, but I was so close to getting him to admit his own guilt. Ha. Looks like I won't be needing a refill. If I just had one more piece of evidence. One more piece of evidence, and maybe I can get Maggie off the hook. Oh, detective.
This witness cross-examination is over. You were free to go, Mr. Tigre.
The detective, he's about to walk out the door. The detective, he's got one foot out. Detective, no, he's already left. Oh, hey guys, what's up? How you doing? Detective! Oh, sorry. I messed up, didn't I?
You're the absolute worst.
Maggie, no. Hold it! Your Honor, sir! Wait!
Oh. Detective?
Detective Gumshoe! Sorry I took so long, pal. I staked everything on this. My badge, the works. So here it is. My heart's counting on this, too.
What is it, Detective?
Isn't it obvious, pal? It's the final decisive piece of evidence.
What? What?
Arrgh. Sorry it took so long, pal, but I finally got the results from the lab. The results? About the prince, pal, from this medicine bottle.
Oh, so? You know who the prince belonged to now?
Do you think I'm some kind of hack detective? Of course I know.
So, tell us. There's a tiger's heart, right? I knew it.
You bet. Clear as crystal all over the bottle. The Furio Tigre's paw prints, all right.
That's great. We've got him now, Nick. What's wrong with you? You're hardly said the words that Detective Gumshoe got here. He laid everything on the line for this, Nick.
I know. Look, I'm sorry. This is kind of hard to say, but it really doesn't make any difference whose prints are on this bottle now. Huh? What? Why not? What we need to produce at this stage in the trial is irrefutable evidence that the tiger put poison in Glen Elg's coffee. He's already admitted that he met the victim. The fact that his prints are on this bottle, that really doesn't make any difference now. I knew it. Great. No matter how hard I try, I'm never of any use.
Hey, don't harm yourself.
This was our last chance to help Maggie, and I've been working on some useless piece of evidence the whole time. It's alright. I'm a real loser. It's not breaking news to me, pal.
Poor Gumshoe, he was listening to Holding Out the Hero on the way here.
Detective Gumshoe? Is my mic?
Yeah.
Oh.
Maggie!
You've been working on something for me?
Sorry I let you down, Maggie. I know you didn't do it. And I'm a detective who was supposed to be able to prove stuff like that. I'm really sorry. I'll get out of your hand now.
Detective Gumshoe, wait.
He's gone.
Isn't there something we can do now, Nick?
I wish there was. Gumshoe worked so hard to get that evidence. If only there was some way I could use it.
Mr. Wright!
Yes, Your Honor.
I granted you a recess so you can prepare the decisive evidence you've discovered.
Yes. Don't keep us all in suspense, Trite. Show us. Naturally, we can assume it's evidence that will actually stand up in court, can't we? Think, Phoenix. Don't let Gumshoe's hard work go to waste. How much more of my time are you gonna waste? I ain't been to no court before. But yous lawyers should know how to blow things out of proportion.
Shut up, Oompa Loompa. No doubt, given the nature of the evidence, it will speak for itself. Nevertheless, you will talk to us through it. Talk us through it, Mr. Wright.
Well, I know I can't prove anything new with this evidence. I'm really backed into a corner here, but maybe if he thinks he's got me beat. He'll let his guard down a bit.
Don't keep us waiting any longer, Mr. Wright. I've got a fucking dinner date with the Beastie Boys.
Oh, God.
Present this piece of evidence to the court.
This is the defense's final piece of evidence.
Isn't that the victim's?
Your Honor, naturally, the court is already aware of the contents of this bottle. However, interesting new information has come to light. We have clearly identified some fingerprints on it. Fingerprints belonging to you, Mr. Tigre. What?
But Mr. Wright, what conclusion are you hoping to draw from this new information?
Everyone in here knows what this bottle contains, except one man. One person in this courtroom should theoretically be in the dark. My prints are on that pansy-looking bottle? Is that what you saying? Well, what the hell's in it anyway? A phony trial, a phony lawyer, and phony clues. Everything about this case has been phony. Seems like the perfect excuse for some phony evidence. Mr. Tigre, this is the decisive piece of evidence that will prove your guilt. Why? Because it contains... This bottle contains potassium cyanide.
Potassium cyanide?
The poison used to murder Mr. Elg, Your Honor. The victim's killer used this very bottle. And on this bottle, Mr. Tigre, we found your fingerprints. Well, how do you explain that? You'd make a good clown, you know that? What? Yous ain't never gonna get this to stick. Yous just making me laugh now. You think a cheap bluff like that's gonna fool the tiger? A bluff? I could see straight through you, Phoenix Wright. That ain't the bottle with the cyanide in it. No. This is the bottle we found traces of the poison in. Don't mess with the tiger. You're gonna get ripped to shreds. The cyanide bottle was brown and it was made of glass. That cheap piece of trash don't look nothing like it. Goto's like, you idiot.
All quiet up in the room.
Got him. At last. What? Why is everyone gone quiet? I said that bottle. Is this the bottle you're referring to? Yeah, that's it. That's the bottle the cyanide was in. But you's not gonna find my prints on that bottle. Don't let that cozy-looking suit fool you people. That lawyer's just playing games. Tell him, Mr. Prosecutor. Tell that guy where to go. You still haven't figured it out. Don't you realize what you just said? You fucking idiot. What did I say? What did I just say? You were summoned to this court for the first time earlier today. If you really had nothing to do with the murder, you shouldn't have known all the little details. For instance, you shouldn't have known what kind of bottle the potassium cyanide was in. But just now you slipped up in front of every single person in this courtroom. You described the exact bottle used by the killer to hold the poison.
Damn.
Yous don't know who's yous messing with. I'm the tiger. I control millions of dollars on the black market. Yous think I'm gonna let some jumped up sook get the better of me? Sure, the last piece of evidence was phony. But that's just what you deserve. The phony trial with a phony lawyer, it was all played out by you, the biggest phony of all.
You're a phony. He's going Hulk mode on us. Run!
blue screen of death.
What is this, an episode of Home Movies? Who put Wee Wee in my canteen?
What's going on?
It looks like a blackout. Well done, Trite.
You made the guy explode.
I saved my 17th cup of coffee just for you.
Oh my god.
Savor it. While you watch the police restrain your prey.
Suck that, bro.
Mr. Wright, you caught a tiger by his toe, but if this one hollers, he won't let go.
Okay, Mr. Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo.
Now then, how are things going with Mr. Tigre and Mr. Godot?
He is being arrested on suspicion of the murder of Glenn Elg, Your Honor.
Fortunately for us, we managed to surface a very grave error. Miss Bird, we found guilty in the absence of a genuine defense attorney.
Yes, she was. And in the absence of genuine evidence. But the tiger made one mistake.
Indeed. He very nearly got away with everything if it wasn't for one slip of the tongue.
The stupid idiot.
Guerrero Tigre is truly a frightening criminal.
Ha. The truly frightening one is that defense attorney over there. Godo.
Well, I am now in the position to deliver my verdict. This court finds the defendant Maggie Bird not guilty. That is all. The court is now adjourned. Now I can go backstage and eat my mushrooms and listen to my Beastie Boys records.
God damn, dude.
Mr. Wright, I'm at a loss for words. Thank you, sir.
Congratulations, Maggie.
I was mad when Mr. Wright landed me in all that trouble a month ago. Like, so mad. But now I feel like I can forgive him.
Hey, that wasn't me, Maggie. That was the tiger.
Look, Nick, in the doorway.
Detective Gumshoe. Oh, guess I'll be heading off then. See you around, pal. Wait!
Oh, you wait for him, but you don't wait for me. Oh, Detective Gumshoe.
Oh yeah. Congratulations, Maggie.
Thanks.
I knew you were innocent all along.
Why didn't you say that in your testimony, then?
Huh?
Oh.
Well, I was... Well, guess I'll be heading off then. See you around. Wait up, detective. He just ran off.
You just ran off. Maggie, why are you being so hard on him? He busted his butt for you. It's thanks to him that we got the medication bottle.
That wasn't even of any use.
But
It's only because Mr. Wright used it so cleverly. Detective Gumshoe was just running around in circles.
Like
a
the
chick
dog.
with his head cut off.
I was gonna say, like the...
she's really pissed now, bro.
You say chicken, I was gonna be like the dog that he is. Poor guy. Looks like she still isn't ready to forgive him.
Can't you put in a good word for him, Nick?
Yeah, Maya's right. I should help Gumshoe out. It's clear he needs it. Maggie? You know, Detective Gumshoe's been really worried about you through all of this.
I wanted to believe that, sir. But on that first day of the trial, he practically gave the judge a free pass to lock me up.
He didn't have any choice, Maggie. He's a detective. He has to report the facts.
He doubted me, that's why. He thought I might have done it.
I've got to prove to her that Gumshoe really cares about her. I know. I'll give her a little present to celebrate her freedom. Yes, this delicious lunch special. This delicious lunch special filled with terrible lobster. No.
Oh gosh,
Here you are. A present to celebrate your freedom.
that's...
A present from Detective Gumshoe made with a ton of love.
He said you lost weight and he was worried about you.
Detective Gumshoe? I actually really like weenies, you know.
Did you guys hear that? I'm pretty hungry myself, you know.
Yeah, the trial dragged on a bit today, didn't it?
Is it okay if I eat this now?
Yeah, just make sure to say
I
something.
knew you had like to.
Maggie, don't eat the whole thing. Maggie!
So, how is it, Maggie?
It's really good.
But he made it. But he made it yesterday. That thing's got to be cold as hell, unless there's a microwave nearby.
Really cold. The rice stuck together.
Mr. Uncle Roger would have
You know
a
what's
problem
bad?
with that. So the case of phony versus genuine
You know
comes
what's
to an
bad?
end. The false allegations surrounding Maggie have all been cleared up. She ate the whole thing.
You know what?
And who knows? Maybe a whole new chapter of her life is about to start.
You know what's bad? I thought the rice was actually sauerkraut.
Oh, that's even worse.
I know!
I mean, there is sausage and sauerkraut that like kielbasa.
How
All
many more
right.
cases we gotta go?
We got 2 more cases.
You missed that.
But now we're about to go to one of my favorite cases throughout the entire franchise.
Oh.
Here we go.
Do you want to start it?
Yeah, we might as well. We got a half hour. There's a character that you're going to play, Circus.
Half hour? You mean 15 minutes?
No, a half hour. We got an hour and 28, where we got like 30.
God
Okay,
damn it.
so we got a hostage situation. Shut up. Come closer and I kill her. Sorry, but you're not going to get the chance.
Oh! Oh! Oh!
I'm reading through the file of an old court case. It was the first case of my longtime mentor, Mia Fey.
I hear doggies.
It's my neighbor's dogs.
So that's the character you're gonna play, Circus.
Oh. I look like Pinhead.
Her very first client was a death row inmate who had recently broken out of prison. That was a whole year before Mia and I ever met. So, previously we saw her second trial, so now we're actually going backwards.
Time to go back in time, bitches!
Ah.
I'm so nervous. I feel like I'm going to die. I never should have accepted this case. Good morning. Don't be so jumpy, Mia.
I didn't do nothing. I swear I didn't kill anybody.
Terry Falls, my first client. Sentenced to death 5 years ago, and now a prison escapee. Just relax, Mia, make small talk, and try to relax him. I don't know why he's carrying the ball. So why did you escape anyway?
Self.
Oh, sorry, I don't know, I just got distracted by him eating the metal. I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
I didn't do nothing. I didn't kill anybody. Nobody. I never lie. I didn't escape from nowhere.
But, Mr. Falls, the police just recaptured you 2 days ago.
Sorry. I told you a little lie.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
But anyways, I didn't do it. I never killed anybody. I didn't hit her. I did not. Hi, Phoenix.
Sorry for asking, but you're on death row, right? Hey, I'm really sorry.
They sentenced me to die 5 years ago. But I was tricked, I tell you. That woman, she lied in her testimony. That's why I got the death penalty. I swear it, I didn't kill her. I could never do that.
Only 2 days ago, he escaped from the police wagon when it crashed. And about 8 hours later, a policewoman was murdered before the police could recapture him. The police believe that Terry Falls did it. After you escaped, did you bully a policewoman?
Yeah, I did. She's the reason I escaped.
That much is true. You didn't meet with the victim.
I didn't kill her. She was alive when I left. She was alive. It's true.
I can trust him, right? I mean, I should.
Ha. You're not gonna figure out the truth by just staring at the guy.
What the
You're-
fuck?
Why are
There
you
you go.
here?
Is that Gono?
I came to see how our little kitten was doing all alone in the big scary lion's den. I thought maybe you'd like someone to play with.
Where is Mr. Grossberg?
Ha. That old man is probably still in bed. I bet he's clutching an empty bottle and mumbling in his sleep. Aren't I good enough? After all, it's me, Diego Armando.
I didn't say... I didn't say I didn't want you here. So, Diego Armando, the finest attorney at Grossberg Law Offices, is here for me?
No. You've got it all wrong. Today, you're the finest. After all, it took an amazing amount of guts to take this case. Imagine, an escaped death row convict for a first client.
Yeah, thanks. I sure wish I could get out of it, though.
Ha. Relax. I just heard some good news. The prosecutor for today is fresh out of his diapers as well.
What?
Really?
However, unlike a certain somebody who I won't mention, he's earned the reputation as a genius since beginning his law career.
Uh-oh.
Genius?
Well, it's about time to head in, kitten. Sharpen those claws of yours. It's go time.
The solitary confinement cell for the condemned must be the world's loneliest place.
You're really struggling over there, Mooney.
I think Mooney found a crush.
Yep.
And that's what my client ran away from. Every other lawyer gave up on him, but not me. When I saw those overflowing eyes and heard that simple, childlike voice, I just had the feeling that he was telling the truth. Wait, is this guy based on this other inmate in real life who was accused of murder, but like he had the mind of a child, and on the day that he died, he gave his train to someone saying, hey, hold on to this for now, I'll come back for it, and then he never did because he got executed.
I'm not going to tell you.
Probably.
You'll just have to think
Okay,
about
hold
it
on to
as
the
we go through
question
this.
until the end of the, okay, I was gonna say hold on to it until the trial ends.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Court is now in session for the trial of Terry Fools.
The defense is ready, Your Honor. Oh, fuck, what? The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor.
I understand. I understand the lawyers for both sides are newcomers.
Yes, Your Honor, I'm Mia Fey. Miles Edgeworth, Your Honor.
So you're the new prosecutor everyone is talking about, eh? They say you joined the prosecutor's office at quite an early age.
At 20, Your Honor.
I guess our little kitten hasn't earned herself much of a reputation yet, huh?
Come on, Mia, you can't lose. Not to someone younger than
Damn.
you.
Young people running a trial. I'm not too sure how I feel about that. Now then, the defendant in this case is currently a felon on death row. 2 days ago, he escaped from a police wagon. Is that correct?
I did not hit that. I did not.
Precisely.
But the defendant is not on trial for escaping prison. On the day that the defendant escaped, a policewoman was murdered.
So, we're here to determine if Mr. Falls was responsible for her death?
You got it, kitten. Well then, Mr. Edgeworth, let's hear your opening statement.
Yes, Your Honor. It was 5 years ago. The defendant, Terry Falls, was sentenced to death in his very court. His crimes were kidnapping, extorting, and murder. The girl he threw off the bridge was only 14 years old.
A truly horrible crime. I remember it well. There was no decisive evidence, so the trial was long and protracted.
Correct, but in the end, what finally decided the case was a certain witness's testimony. A witness's testimony? Oh. The testimony of Detective Valerie Hawthorne, the person who confronted this criminal. She arrested Mr. Falls at the scene and later testified against him. She said she witnessed Mr. Falls throw his young victim into the river. For those who are not aware, Eagle River is well known for its powerful current. Most bodies that fall in are never recovered. So Miss Hawthorne's testimony was the one that put him away.
That police woman you just mentioned, that wouldn't be...
Exactly, the victim. The same woman that was killed 2 days ago. Police Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne.
Aha, I see. The man who was sentenced to death based on her testimony escaped 2 days ago, with only one thing on his mind, to take revenge against the woman who convicted him. Aha! The truth is becoming clear to me now.
Huh?
Yes. It's quite obvious that the defendant is guilty.
Wait a minute, that's not right. At least hear the case before you decide on the outcome, Your Honor.
Ugh. Watch yourself, Miss Faye. I'm not sure I care for your word choice or your tone of voice.
The judge got Kenny G concert tickets. He wanted to get the hell out of there.
Young people these days simply don't know how to respect their elders.
Hey, listen, I got tickets to
You're younger than
Nickelback.
I am. Why, you're even younger than me, you hypocrite. Okay, I did not know she was going to say that.
Damn.
Oh, thank God.
And just so you know, the other judge likes Beastie Boys. I'm more of a fan of Nickelback. I've got all their season tickets.
I thought you were a Kenny G fan.
Damn. We all thought.
Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, please call your first witness.
I call the detective who was in charge of the initial investigation of this case.
Oh no, it's Gumshoe in it.
Yep. Always got a different
Fuck.
trench coat. Witness, state your name and occupation.
The joke is that that's his original suit, and the one he's wearing in the present is all dirty and green. So he hasn't washed it in 6 years.
Ew.
Oh no.
That's the running theory.
No.
Gumshoe. Dick Gumshoe. I'm the homicide detective in charge of the case, sir. I finally got promoted to the detective division half a year ago.
I don't believe anyone asked you about that.
Hey, ma'am, you got any idea how much work it takes?
What is it?
You're really gorgeous.
Oh,
my God.
no.
Excuse me?
No, seriously, my heart, it's aching for you.
Oh no! Oh my God! What was-
Detective, pull yourself together and try to be professional. Otherwise, you're going to horny jail. And I'll write you up on contempt so quick that something other than your heart will ache.
Oh, no, not my dick. I'm already a dick. Okay, I got it. Now, detective, tell us about the incident. Yes, sir, right away. The victim was Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne, a veteran on the police force. She was stabbed in the back with a knife and died from excessive blood loss. That much is already stated in the autopsy report. The court would like to hear more details about the incident itself. Yes, sir, I gotcha. Okay, let's take a look at this aerial map of the area here. This is a sketch of Dusky Bridge, an old suspension bridge. And the river that runs under there is Eagle River. The victim and the defendant met there, on top of the bridge. After stabbing her in the back, the killer carried the victim back to his car. He was recaptured at a police checkpoint as he was trying to make his getaway, sir. I see. Was the victim's blood found on the bridge? The victim, Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne, was wearing a thick coat, sir. Unfortunately, no traces of blood were found on the bridge. Mr. Edgeworth, I warn you that I absolutely despise conjecture. If there was no blood on the bridge, then you have no proof that they even met there.
Your Honor. If you would listen to the testimony we have prepared, I'm sure you'll be convinced. The two of them most certainly did meet on the bridge that day.
Why, Mr. Edgeworth? I'm not sure I like you wagging your finger at me as though I were some hoser. Detective, proceed with your testimony. Yes, sir.
Here we go, Mia. Hang on.
Okay now. Listen carefully, kitten. One little mistake and this guy will drink you for morning tea. Trust me and get ready. On the day of the incident, an unknown person phoned the sergeant and asked to meet. Sergeant Hawthorne went to Dusky Bridge at the designated time and met with Mr. Falls. And that's where she was brutally murdered, sir. The criminal stuffed her body into his car trunk and tried to make a getaway. Mr. Falls was arrested at a police checkpoint we set up at the base of the mountain. Well, you certainly have established the importance of the bridge.
Naturally.
Now, would the defense please hurry up and proceed with the cross-examination? That Nickelback concert ain't getting any quicker.
Yes, Your Honor. Cross-examination. Coming right up.
Hey, settle down there, kitten. If you keep trembling like that, you're gonna make me spill my coffee.
I'm not trembling. It's just cold in here.
The courtroom could be a cold battlefield, all right. Especially for a beginner.
I don't need you to worry about me. I mean, the witness, everyone's a beginner in here.
You got me there. But maybe you should keep your claws out and show them what you've got, kitten.
God.
Mia, stay calm. Don't act like this is fine, dog. Just remember those court procedure videos you stayed up all last night watching.
Whoa.
I'm fucked.
Oh, God.
Not in a good way. This unknown person, you have no idea who it might be, right?
Sorry, but I'm afraid I do.
What?
The one who called Sergeant Hawthorne was the defendant, Terry Falls. What? The defendant? The defendant called her? Sergeant Hawthorne was a very thorough person, sir. She left a note about her phone call with Mr. Falls.
Note?
Yeah, a top secret memo that she left in her desk. According to this note, it seems the one who called her to the bridge was indeed the defendant, Terry Falls.
Whose bright idea was it to keep that note from me?
Looks like the judge is even more sure of his verdict now. Listen up. Never ask a question if you don't already know the answer.
Oh, it's that detective's fault. He's the one who said unknown person.
Hey now, don't make that face at me. I just said it that way because the prosecutor told me to.
Was that a trap? With that cute face, I didn't expect him to be more sneaky.
Little does he know, he's going to be falling in love with another man. What'd you say, Soph?
Like, look, he has like a baby face. Like, you could just pinch those cheeks, you know? Like,
I mean...
You most certainly may not do that.
He's 20.
20.
I know, but I'm just making a joke about him.
That's how young
How
he
old
is.
Mia right now?
No, that doesn't say her age in this one.
I'm guessing she's around Diego's age. I'm gonna guess.
Okay, well, let's see. Diego is 27, so I think a little bit younger, like maybe 25, 26.
Oh, okay, so around the age difference between me and my younger brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, it still works. Joke still works then. A bridge up in the mountains? But why meet there?
Because it is a very important place to the defendant, that's why. What do you mean by that?
If you remember 5 years ago, the defendant kidnapped a young girl. He was chased onto a bridge. It was there that he killed his hostage. And the place where all of this occurred is, of course, Dusky Bridge.
The very place where Sergeant Hawthorne arrested and handcuffed Mr. Falls. Huh. Returning to the scene of the crime. How nostalgic.
Was the body of the victim discovered right away?
Yeah, we were really on the ball. We found the criminal within 1 hour of the murder. It was great. We even got to say, "Don't move. We got you surrounded."
Wait a second. Isn't there something weird about that?
The location was a suspension bridge up in the mountains. So how did they find out about the crime so quickly?
Sergeant Hawthorne must have mentioned the phone call to someone else, right?
Huh. If that's what had happened, then she wouldn't have been killed. She never mentioned the phone call from Mr. Falls, but she left a note on her desk about it. If only I had noticed it earlier, maybe she'd still be alive.
I wonder why she didn't mention the phone call to anyone. Mr. Falls had a car then?
Well, that bridge is way up in the mountains, ma'am. The defendant and the victim both went up there by car. I mean, how else, right? What? You mean the defendant drove his own car? No, of course not. It was stolen. He stole it from a young couple that had been waiting at a red light. Car thieves. I'm not sure how I feel about car thieves.
Is this guy sure about how he feels about anything?
This is a photo of the stolen car's trunk. Naturally, that's the body of Valerie Hawthorne in there. Whoa, that doesn't look too comfortable.
I mean, she's dead. Oh, jinx. The victim, she was stabbed in the back, correct?
Yeah. Huh. For some reason, men always seem to get stabbed in the back.
Oh.
We're talking about a woman here.
You can't tell from this photo, but the knife was stuck in her back nice and firm. The condition of the body when it was discovered is very important information. Detective, was there anything strange or noteworthy in the trunk of the car? Here's a photo of the trunk, but I don't see anything strange, do you? Anyway.
What did the defendant have to say about this photo?
What he always says, ma'am. Did we lose Circus?
Sorry. Sorry, on Tumblr.
Oh.
I didn't do it. I didn't do nothing.
That's all he says. Nothing. I wouldn't say he did nothing. At the very least, we know he stole a car. It's just what he always says, Your Honor, and then he always says...
Sorry. I told you a little lie.
Or something like that.
Man.
Well, in any case, it seems he was caught and arrested.
Precisely. That certainly is some impressive police work.
Well, no, actually, it was way too close for comfort. We set up that checkpoint just after 5 p.m. We figured that Mr. Falls might just try to run.
What do you mean it was too close for comfort? The two of them arranged to meet at 4:30 p.m. And it takes approximately 30 minutes to go from the bridge to the checkpoint. That was kinda close. Any later and Mr. Falls could have slipped right by.
Listen up, kitten. There's a big trap waiting for you in that testimony.
A trap?
Walk into it carelessly and it'll leave more than just a flesh wound. Fun, huh?
No, it's not.
Well, if you want to have any chance at all, you'd better get some more information. And if you're going to get caught in a trap, it's best to get caught early. You can always look for contradictions afterwards.
The ever-famous contradictions. I sure hope I can find some of those. Witness?
What is it? Do you have something to say, Miss Faye?
I'm sorry. I totally forgot what I was going to say.
Oh my god!
This is the first time I've ever had to actually address someone like that.
Ugh. You should have practiced before coming to court. Honestly, Miss Faye, I'm not sure I like this. Say there, little kitten. Want a piece of my coffee candy?
I don't want anything of you.
Well, you're still too young to be drinking real coffee.
Ugh, come on, Mia. Shake it off. You're a lawyer. Detective?
Yes, ma'am.
This photo. You said that there was nothing peculiar about it. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Well then, I suggest you take another look at the note written by the victim.
The note?
It very clearly says, wear white scarf for identification. The caller must have forgotten what the victim looked like, thus this special request.
I
have one very simple question for you, detective. Where is the white scarf? I can't seem to find it in this photo.
Well, to be honest, we didn't find it in the trunk, ma'am.
And you stopped there? You should have looked for it.
Ah! The caller told her to wear it to identify herself, so I'd expect she did just that. And we're just gonna pause here as we saw his big eyes.
Oh.
The dude stole my mushrooms.
Well, technically, in this, I'm technically your younger brother. Yeah, the judges are brothers, and I'm the youngest one. Hence the colored beard.
Well, you know, he stole my drugs, so there you go.
Yes, pretty much. I was doing the shrooms while listening to some Jimi Hendrix.
Oh, I thought you'd listen to Doors or something.
Well, yeah, I mean, come on, baby, light my fire. And then I accidentally set a building on fire, and then I was arrested, and then I became a court judge. How that happened, I don't know, but here in Canada, it's fucked up.
Come on, baby.
At least I'm not like those Americans. You know, up here, at least we have healthcare. Anyway.
You know your brother is American.
Yeah, well, I know. He was born in America, I was born in Canada, and then our parents separated, and so I lived in the Maple area, and then he lived in Los Angeles, California.
Movie about the twins who got separated.
Parent Trap.
Yeah.
Although this is not... Oh, God. Imagine two bearded twins. That would just be awkward. But we're not twins. He's older. I'm younger. I like hockey. He likes American football. He likes, He likes Beastie Boys.
Similar, and not exactly the same, but yeah.
Well, listen, we're not Lindsay Lohan. Can you imagine if we were in Freaky Friday together? It would be so awkward. Anyway, I'm having too much fun with this character, so listen, I'm just going to have my mind bogged out for the next week, because I'm going to be doing shrooms at the same time I'm talking. So thank you for enjoying Psychedelic Laundromat Show. If you want to, you leave a like. There's a like button at the bottom of this computer, and then hit that. And then make sure to leave a comment as well, because that boosts the algorithm. And then what you also want to do is hit the subscribe button so you can hear more Canadian Judge. And then also, you want to get that bell notification so that you know exactly when we do live streams and the Canadian Judge hero comes back in front of your eyes all bugged out from all the shrooms. So good night.